All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and it seems like Dr. Steve Turley then dropped another great video for us, and this one here is called You Won't Believe the Truth Bombs Tucker Carlson just dropped. Y'all already know I'm eager to hear it. Shout out to Tucker Carlson. I'm a big fan of Tucker Carlson. Love his work. Shout out to him and Trump for going viral. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him for that. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody that's been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. Without further ado, let's see what great news Tucker Carlson then dropped that we all need to hear. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this, and let's see what happened.
If you want to know, this is, and I'm being completely sincere, what's true? The true things are the things that you can't say. I cannot remember the last time someone in public life was prosecuted or even criticized for lying. If lying was a crime, I mean, your governor would be in Supermax for life. If being incompetent was a felony, she'd be on death row. Banning paint sales during COVID? It's unbelievable. But there's no penalty for lying and there's no penalty for incompetence. So what do we penalize? Every society penalizes something. There's a death penalty offense in every society from the beginning of time. What's ours? It's telling the truth. If you tell the truth, the real truth, the no BS truth, like what's actually going on here? Is this actually working? And no, it's not. Why isn't it working? If you were to be honest about that, you're done. So you have to ask yourself, like, what does it say about a society where the only penalty is for noting what's true?
Tucker Carlson is absolutely unstoppable, and he just dropped some truth bombs that are going to inspire you like never before. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, if you would be so kind, please share this video with friends and family. We're once again being suppressed by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. Tucker Carlson is once again lighting up the internet. He recently appeared in Utica, Michigan, speaking before a gathering of the Brighter Michigan Political Action Committee, and the truth bombs he dropped were astonishing. In fact, that was precisely the theme of the talk. Truth is now our primary weapon in a system that operates totally and completely by lies.
I'll stop with this. I think the only answer is to tell the truth calmly and slowly and fearlessly. Everybody knows what it is. They'll come at you. First, they'll tell you you're hurting someone's feelings, you're mean. That's always the first. Then they're trying to appeal to your basic decency and then subvert it. No one wants to be mean. They did this during COVID. Well, you should take the shot. Well, what's in the shot? Shut up and take it. But I don't need the shot. I already had COVID. You know, I'm 26. I just ran a Ironman. Shut up and take the shot. Well, what if I don't want to? You're killing your grandparents. Okay.
What?
And okay, so that's the first thing they do. They accuse you of being mean. Then the second thing they do is they call you insane. You're a conspiracy theorist. Really? If I were the sort of person who gloated, I would keep a list of all the times I personally have been called a conspiracy theorist or a wacko, and then compare them to the outcome 5 years later. They all turn out to be true.
There you go, Tucker. There you go.
And I try to be a decent Protestant, not brag about myself, but like, the list is long. Very long. And then the third thing they do is just criminalize telling the truth. And you're seeing that now. There are people who are going to jail for non-trivial lengths. By the way, anyone who's ever been to a jail knows, and there are a bunch of sheriffs here, and they know best of all, any time in jail is not trivial. Any time behind bars. A drunk driving offense for a night can change your life. You don't want to go to jail. Yep. Period. It's not a joke. And anyone who tells you, oh, he's going to Club Fed where they have volleyball, right? Taking away a person's freedom and locking him in a cage where he can't see the stars at night is, short of killing him, maybe more than killing him, the gravest thing you can do to another human being. So no one should ever minimize the penalty of prison time or jail time. It's profound. It'll destroy you and your family. And they're sending people to prison for saying that the last election was rigged, which it was.
All right, so there's a lot there that I think is absolutely spot on that we can unpack.
Yes.
What's happening here, what Tucker Carlson is calling attention to, is actually something akin to what Soviet scholars called hypernormalization. All right, it's a fancy term derived from studies of Russian citizens' dispositions and inclinations towards the end of the Soviet experiment. So what scholars found was that by the 70s and 80s, as the Soviet Union was beginning to wane, the vast majority of Russians knew that their system was totally corrupt and intellectually bankrupt. They knew it. They knew they were being lied to by their leaders, and they knew that their leaders knew that they were lying. But, and this is absolutely key, but even though everyone knew everyone was lying, the public nevertheless pretended to accept those lies. In other words, the lies basically became the social capital of society to such an extent that citizens had no other possible conception of society other than the lies. They knew everything was a lie, but they continued to accept the system because their cognized conception of reality could conceive of no other possible reality other than a system of lies. They remained in the system precisely because they found it impossible to imagine an alternative system. It's like a failed marriage that nevertheless persists because the couple has no idea how to end it. This is what scholars call hypernormalization. It's a fraud that has in effect been normalized. Everyone knows that the powers that be are a corrupt fraud, but they put up with it anyway because they simply can't imagine an alternative. And it is precisely that kind of society that Tucker is calling all of us to resist, and we resist it by courageously speaking the truth. Again, what we have to get here is that all of these lies and intimidation tactics seek to do is deliberately fabricate a society where people comply precisely because they've lost any sense of an alternative to that compliance. I'll say that again. These cultural Marxists, like the Soviet Marxists of old, these woke Marxists, are deliberately attempting to fabricate a society where people comply precisely because they've lost any sense of an alternative to that compliance. The purveyors of wokeness and their twisted morality demand a hypernormative world where wokeness is the only alternative. There's no basis for legitimate dissent. And so what Tucker is saying here is that the ultimate expression of dissent today in a world built on lies is courageously speaking the truth. Hey, gang, as you can see, patriots across the nation are rising up. Just like
I ain't gonna lie, he is exactly right, man. Dr. Steve is exactly right. And like I said, once again, shout out to Tucker Carlson. I'm telling you, the man is dropping truth bombs all over the place. Y'all know how much respect I have for Tucker Carlson. And I know a lot of you out there that's watching love Tucker Carlson. He's another one that I respect. The man doesn't hold back. He tell you like it is. Just like he just said at that end, he said they trying to throw people in prison just because they said that the president election was rigged. And that's kind of crazy. Just because Trump came out and said that he feel like the election was rigged, y'all gonna try to put him in prison for that? Like, I've never heard of anything like this before. That lets you know right there that they're just targeting Trump. This ain't nothing but an election interference. And I'm going to continue to say that. This is an election interference. How are you going to try to throw this man in prison over some remarks he made? But he said he feels like the election was rigged. So now we're going to jail over words like that now. If I come out and say that, well, the election was rigged, okay, we're going to indict you. What? They just let you know they are after Trump because they know the man is going to win in 2024. So they trying to get him out the way for where he can't run. That's the reason why Fannie Willis was trying to get a speedy trial to think that was going to work. To try to get Trump locked up so he's not able to run. That's all this is. That's why all these Dems, that's why they all coming after Trump. They keep thinking of stuff. Every time Trump get out of something that they try, Then they try to find another loophole. Okay, that didn't work. We tried to get him locked up when we did the mugshot, so that didn't work. His mugshot went viral. His interview with Tucker Carlson went viral. What else can we do? Then a lot of us felt like that Biden was the one that sided with Fannie Willis to try to get Trump out of here. That didn't work. So now they're trying to find something else. So it just never stopped. And at the end of the day, I still think Trump is going to win in 2024. So they can keep trying all this stuff that they want to try. I just feel like it's not going to work at all. Man. It's crazy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy. But let's go.
This election was rigged. Well, when the country's largest law enforcement organization, the FBI, actively works on behalf of one political party, and when its largest intelligence gathering agency, the CIA, does the same, it's a little bit like what's happening in Michigan. When federal employees paid for by the tax dollars of everyone take an aggressive position on the side of one political party, you can't have a fair election because you're using public money to put your thumb on the scale on behalf of a partisan cause. It is totally immoral. And it's not free and fair. If our election took place in Bolivia, the 2020 presidential election took place in Bolivia, I can promise you the State Department would report back and say that was not a free and fair election.
Exactly.
And Wikipedia would report it was a clouded election because there was fraud and interference, which there was.
Yep.
If some oligarch, some tech oligarch, spent nearly $500 million to control the mechanics of the Bolivian election in 2020, we would say it's not a legitimate election. But when Mark Zuckerberg does it in the United States, he's just helping with COVID. Yeah, we're really afraid of COVID, I'm sure. Yeah. So for saying that out loud, people are going to prison. And of course, the whole point is to convince you not to say it out loud. So don't let them. That's the only point. Don't let them.
Exactly.
And if you keep telling the truth, some of you probably get indicted by Dana Nessel.
You already said if you keep telling the truth, they're going to try to indict you as well. That's what it is. They don't want you telling the truth. I don't see anything. What is wrong with a man that was in the election that's coming out to say, hey, I feel like I was cheated. I feel like they cheated me. How are you going to get an indictment because of that? Just because you felt like somebody cheated? Like, this is insane. They just let you know it's just an election interference. That's why I love Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson going to tell you like it is. He know what's going on. He know this is an election interference. He knew what happened. And Trump knows what happened. Biden is not fit to be the president. We all know that. Even the Democrats, the one that's with Biden, don't want him as president. They don't even want him as president. They trying to get him up out of here and try to get Michelle Obama in. To think getting Michelle Obama is going to get Trump out the way, which is not going to work because I said this before, even in my last video. I don't care what other president they try to put in front of Trump to go against him. Trump is going to win. He is leading the polls in a landslide. That's the reason why the Dems trying to get Biden up out of there and try to get somebody else in there to think that's going to strengthen Donald Trump in the poll race. Man, I'm telling you, boy.
Well, you're going to women's prison, a little better. But still prison.
Still prison.
But it's worth it. Anyway, don't be intimidated. Your children's future depends on your bravery.
The great Soviet dissident Alexander Solzhenitsyn once said, "The simple step of a courageous individual is not to take part in the lie. One word of truth outweighs the world." One word of truth outweighs the world. Simply put, speaking the truth is our greatest weapon. In a world built on lies, speaking the truth is the single most devastating weapon to bring down such a world. And so Tucker's actually drawing from a very time-tested principle here.
Yes, he is.
Truth is what ultimately brought down the Berlin Wall, the Soviet Union. Truth in the hands of the likes of Alexander Solzhenitsyn and the Czechoslovakian dissidents Václav Havel and Václav Benda and their efforts at building a parallel economy in the 1970s and 80s in the midst of the Soviet-dominated Eastern Europe. All of this is what ultimately brought down a Soviet system built on lies. This is what Tucker's calling all of us to commit ourselves to. In a world built on lies, our greatest weapon is the truth. And that is what ultimately will indeed set us free. Are you ready?
Shout out to Dr. Steve Turley once again. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like Tucker Carlson, he always come through in the clutch and just speak that knowledge. He speak the things that we all need to hear. Just like Judge Janine, just like Candace Owens, just like Tucker Carlson, like they speak, they don't hold back. They tell you what's on their mind. And I love a person that doesn't hold back. They tell you exactly what's going on. They ain't afraid to say anything. You see what Tucker Carlson said? They're trying to send people to prison over saying that they feel like they was cheated in an election. Come on. What did that tell you right there? Boy, this is crazy. The world we live in. Trying to get Trump out the way. Make sure y'all spam the comment section. Trump 2024. Let them know that Trump will win in 2024. But y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all of this. Appreciate you all for watching. I will leave the original video in the description. Y'all want to go check it out on Dr. Steve Turley's channel. He does a great job over there. And like I said, once again, thank you all for watching. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.